Hey everyone, welcome to our live video on toe readings. You never know what you're going to get in this group. This is a secret group. This is a safe zone, so no videos or photos can be shared outside of this group. That's part of the benefit of doing this. I am going to try and pull in Sheri. This is her first time doing a live video, so we're kind of winging it. And it doesn't look like it invited her like I wanted it to. So hang tight with me, guys. When you do a live video, you just never know what's going to happen. Okay. She's been invited. And I can't invite her again. So Sheri, if you're watching this, you should see some sort of notification from me inviting you into the video. You'll either have to accept it. If you don't see that at this point, then go ahead and try to invite yourself, and we'll try to get this video rocking and rolling. So as I wait for Sheri to jump in, I do want to kind of share, her and I have been on Facebook for a while, but we've never actually talked or, okay, I see that you're watching, so Sheri, you should have some sort of invite on your end. If not, there you go. Okay, I just approved you. Okay, so Sheri and I have never actually talked. We've never met prior to this video. So it's kind of interesting when you have a group like
There we are.
Here we are. You just never know who you're going to end up in contact with. So hey, Miss Sheri, was that relatively painless for you?
Oh, it was totally painless. It was making me a little nervous at first, though, because I was like, oh no, I wasn't sure where to go.
With live video, you never know what's going to happen. So our audience knows, I've realized through experience with joint videos, it seems we're at about a 30-minute limit. Then my phone starts to overheat, and then the communication starts to get choppy, and then Sheri and I start talking over each other without realizing it. So we're going to try to cap this at 30 minutes, to keep it high quality video. So Sheri, the floor is yours if you want to introduce yourself.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm Sheri Lee, and otherwise known as the Thetoepro. Now, when I say that I'm the Thetoepro, that doesn't mean that I'm the best toe reader out there. What it means is that I'm a percipient, receiver, and observer of the toes. So that's what pro means to me.
Yes.
I don't consider myself as a toe reader. I call myself a toe listener. I hear the toes. I hear them when they're screaming, when they're chatting up a storm. I hear them when they're toe tattling.
Oh, I love that.
Oh yeah, and they do tattle on you, let me tell you, they just do. There are some toes that are talkaholics. They talk a little too much. So the main thing though is, we can all be read or seen, but how often is it that you're actually heard?
It's true.
And when you're heard, don't you feel understood?
Yes.
Okay. So that is what I try to concentrate on when I used to sit at the feet of the humans. I call them humans because I relate with toes. So the toes, they have a human. To me, they're like an inanimate object. They're living. I know I'm running this around because I don't know where to hold it. There's so much energy in a toe, and they have names. They have characteristics. They also consider they are equivalent to certain elements of our universe. They have chakras assigned to them as well.
I wouldn't have known that.
So how I became familiar with toe reading was, well, first of all, I came out here from Minnesota to Arizona through the Mayo Clinic. So most of my life was very medical. And when I had a round of cancer, the colon cancer, and metastasized to the ovaries, I had a year of chemo. When I came out of that, I was more interested in alternative medicine after that. And I was loving shamanism and Chinese medicine. And so I found this wonderful school, Swiha, and I've always loved the feet. I'm a Pisces, so feet, they rule me. And I've loved feet, and it's not a fetish. It's just that I was born with club feet, so feet are very, just a big deal in my world. So I called the school, wanted to know what they were up to. I heard they were woo-woo, but I was woo-woo and was never allowed to explore that. So I've always studied reflexology and understood it, but I wondered, what is this toe reading business? What is this stuff? I thought, is this like palm reading? Because then I don't want nothing to do with it. Palm reading is bad. It's just that that's where I was at the time. And so I went and checked it out, fell in love with it, took the 5 months of classes. Now they're down to 2 weekends now. They condensed it so people will take it, I think, I don't know. I got the in-depth study, and I'm so glad I did. I had many teachers, many different points of view. And so right when I started, this was 6 years ago, immediately I realized, oh my God, I can have a business doing this. And that's when I became the Thetoepro. I LLC'd my name, and my business was very lucrative. And then I had an accident. A dear friend of mine told me, she's a fellow toe reader. She says, Sheri, I just was at so-and-so place. I can't tell you where it was.
Yeah.
And she says, they have feet. They're really huge. They're about the half size of a human, right? They were huge. And I'm like, great, I need 10 of them because there was something I wanted to do with them towards the toe reading. I'm at the store looking high and low for them, asking everybody, can't find them. So I realized, well, I'll have to go to the store in Fountain Hills where she got hers. And I saw a stool that I wanted to use for my reflexology, when I do reflexology. I sat on it, it broke. Yes, I was like 250 pounds. There was no weight limit on it. It was put together wrong. It exploded underneath me. Instead of whooshing, I splattered on the floor. Broke my back in 2 places and my neck, 3 vertebrae in my neck. There are no accidents. I didn't know that until 3 months ago. I spent the last 3 years in bed in terrible excruciating pain and suffering. Thought I would never be a Thetoepro again, because I could not sit on the floor at the feet of those that I would read. And it's still, I'm happy about it now, but it was 3 years of pure hell, not understanding why did this have to happen. It changed my life forever. I'm better now. I'm not on any medication. Never, ever, ever say yes to opioids, because they will drive you batty. There wasn't a morning that I didn't consider suicide. I'm not proud of that, but it's my story now. And so anyway, I said all that to say that I had recently just found another business called PEMF. It's pulse magnetic frequency. And it's kind of what got me out of bed. I'm at least walking now. I use a walker. I'm not sure how long it'll be before I can get back on the floor at the feet of people, at their feet. But because to me, it's a service. I come to your feet with a servant heart. And when I'm at your feet, I'm bowing.
Never thought of it that way.
And my head is in your heart space so that I'm not in my head. And I love to touch the feet. A lot of people will just look at the lines and bumps and things and tell you what's wrong, with what your feet are saying. But I have to feel your energy. And so I'll come back to that. However, I was at this event, starting up my new business, and it's a leadership event called Dream Big. It was 6 days long. It was 2 weeks ago. And it totally changed my life. I found out that I can take a stand, claim those 3 years of hell. There's a reason why I had to go through pain and suffering. And I didn't know it until I sat in a restroom stall at the event. And you know how you go to reach for the toilet paper and you kind of see the feet underneath the next one? Her under her toes were screaming, just screaming bloody murder. And I'm like, I can hear you, I can hear you. And so I'm knocking on the stall door and I'm telling her, ma'am, you have got to wait for me to get out of here. I have to talk to you about something. Your toe is screaming at me. My what? See, I know she thought I was a lunatic. I know it. So, so I'm like, yes, please wait for me. I have a message for you from your toes. Believe it or not, your toes are talking. And so she waited, but she had her hand on the door, ready to leave in case I was like something crazy. So I told her who I was and what I do. And I said, how long are you going to keep that ring on your toe? It was her communication toe. And she said, well, my mother and I bought these before she passed. We both had one. She said, now I wear my mother's around my neck. I said, you need to put that one with your mother's. I said, this toe is telling me that either you are a public speaker, a musician, or an author. She says, oh my God, how do you know that? I'm all three. I said, because of the position of your toe and the length of your toe, that's just what I do. And I said, however, you're suffocating it choking it with that ring. You won't be doing what you need to be doing, what you came here to do. So she took it off right there. She sat down on the bathroom floor, took it off, put it on her chain. I went into some more toes with her because she obviously was so upset about some things. I mean, the toes don't lie. They're incapable of it. So we agreed to meet the next day at lunch. I would go into some things deeper with her because there was a lot of stories there. And I just wanted to help her. And she said, what can I pay you? What can I pay you? And I said, oh, honey, you have no idea. You just gave me the most wonderful gift. I didn't think I could ever do this again. I didn't know that I could do this without having to sit at the floor at your feet. I said, I guess I could just sit in the bathroom stall forever and wait till people come in. So she grabbed a few friends the next day at lunchtime to come with her. And I read their toes too. And then they all wanted to know what to pay me. And I said, well, the daughter who was the speaker at this event, she's 11. And she has a foundation called Josie's Well. And when she was 7, she decided to, it just killed her that little girls in Gandhi couldn't go to school because they were too busy going to the water sources, the dirty lakes, and bringing water back for their family. So anyway, so this is what she does. She raises $10,000. Every time she has $10,000, she buys another well so these little girls can go to school. This is a tiny child that has this passion for humanity. It's just amazing. So I said, please donate whatever you would give me and to Josie as well in my name. I would really appreciate that. So now that's 2 weeks ago, and everybody's sending me their toe pictures, and I'm whizzing them out as fast as I can, trying to give them a lot of time, spending a lot of time in then calling them the next day and letting them know, what's going on, what they're telling me, wonderful things, that wonderful things shows up in their toes. So that's it. That's what's been going on. So I was so happy when you called me and asked me. It was like, oh my God, because I've been sitting here in my lead, getting coaching all the time. I've getting coaching for a year with this company. And they're like, have you done this yet? Have you done that yet? Because I'm going to start workshops and things online shows, and start teaching toe reading a different way than the way I was taught. And that's okay. So, so then you shared with me your toes. Let's take a peek at yours. Did everybody see?
We do have a quick question here from
Okay.
Amy. She wants to know, do you see a pinky in a person or just a photo of a, I'm sorry, let me back up. Do you need to see a piggy in a person or just a photo of a piggy? I'm thinking she means pinky. And is it just the big pinky or the whole family? Totally interested in this.
Oh my God. Okay. I need all the toes. In fact, I don't know if you can see this, but that's what I need. It's a picture like that. They can't see, nobody saw, but that's the kind of picture I need. And I need it sent. Can I give my website or not? Or I mean my email? Or no? No, never mind. You give a link.
At the end of it.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, and I'm reading for free. In the event that like when I when I start my Tuesday Toe Talks, which is this Tuesday, I like guest speakers to come. So if you want your toes read, you got to come on my show. How's that?
I think that's a pretty good deal. I love it. Okay, so do you want to get started in the toe reading? Because as you were talking, I saw a message saying my battery is down to 20% already. This phone is epically failing me today.
All right.
Yeah, so let me just say, if we're in the middle of a video, Sheri, it might cut us off because it did this before. If it does, we'll wait a little bit and we'll start up part 2.
Okay.
Because I want everybody to see the full video. Okay? All right, so go for it.
All right. Do you want me to show your toes and then talk about them? Or no, just tell you?
I kind of told people, just tell me, because some people don't want to see feet. And I was like, okay, well, only Sheri's going to see my feet. So let's just do it that way.
Okay. All right. Well, you have very lovely toes. They're all straight, which is a good thing. You have princess toes. Your 2 large toes are called princess toes. And so what that means, and you know that you you carry yourself that way too. Now, some people have like a queen.
Oh, so the battery issue, we're starting to overlap each other. So when we ask a question, just delay a little bit. So I wouldn't call myself a princess. I do try to walk tall and show confidence.
Yeah, you do. Would you say that you love doing things for other people and you're busier doing that than you are for doing things for yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, because you have a little hero bump on your left foot. Now your left foot, if you're right-handed, your left foot is your inner self, your higher self, you and your inner child as well, and your connection to God, spirit, source, whatever you call it. Your right foot, because you're right-handed, is your community foot. It's the foot that you step out into the world in. You lead with that foot. When you take off walking, you start with your right foot. You're on your path. There's no doubt about it. You're on the path.
Okay.
There's a little resistance right now. And I don't say this to embarrass you, but there's a little callus under the big toe on the side. And that's just that it's been hard getting where you're at. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. I also love that you have your second toe over and your middle toe. I'm looking at you. Can you tell I'm looking at you?
Yes. Yes.
I'm seeing the lines behind you, and I'm thinking that you like are on against the prison wall or something, one of those walls that have the lines to tell your height. And I'm like, what the heck is behind you? So your two toes over from your large toe, they're webbed. And there's nothing wrong with them being webbed. What it means is they have kind of a webbing. See how the line doesn't go all the way down like it should? Especially over on your left foot.
Yeah.
It's more dominant there. Yeah, did you ever notice that before?
No. I'm looking.
No.
That's funny.
Well, those are the one next to your large toe is your communication toe. And the one over from that is your action toe. And so what that is that those two toes are working as one. And that's because what you're supposed to be doing and what you are doing is you are a communicator and you do know how to take action. And what you're doing with young women and old women like me, putting them together in a group like this. This is your passion. This is the things that you love to do, is to help other people. You have on the sides of your feet are, how you can see the path where your feet should be, but they're kind of stick out a little wider than normal? Those are angel wings.
Yep.
That's because you love to help people. You're helping everybody before yourself. That's what your feet are saying. Your toes are lovely. You told me your age. I'm going to ask you, what main event occurred when you were 35 years old? Something major, around 34, 35.
That's when I met Brian, my now boyfriend of 12 years.
Okay. All right. Did something else occur like before that, or right away, like something traumatic?
I can't narrow it down to one thing. It was years of just unhealthy relationships. Mm-hmm. I chose to be single for a very long time prior to meeting Brian because of stuff that had happened. I don't know that I can pinpoint anything at 34 or 35 years old. There's a lot of stuff leading up to that age.
Okay. All right. In your 30s then, early 30s, something major happened, and because the lines, if you look at them, do you have your toe picture in front of you?
No, but I have my feet in front of me.
Okay. There's lines on those two toes that are webbed on both feet. Do you see them? Where it looks like somebody took a knife and cut it right through them?
Yes, I see it.
Somebody did take a knife and cut it right through, stabbed you in the back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's unfinished business, right?
Yes.
When this unfinished business, when you're aware of it now, that your toes are telling me this, like I said, your toes will change. So when that event, when you have said enough, thank you for coming into my life, teaching me lessons to that event, those lines will disappear. Then guess what?
Oh,
New ones will show up somewhere else at a different age, and that's how this works. That's why I
oh,
feel that everybody should know how to read their own tones. Mhm.
that's
Because if you could
interesting.
do this every morning, if you could just look at your toes every morning and realize, oh, well, that occurred when I'm such and such an age. Hmm. Oh, I know what it was. Thank you for being there. Thank you for the lesson. I forgive you. I forgive me. La la, and just let it go.
Yeah. I'm
It's
still struggling.
so easy. And we carry this stuff around like we're pushing a wheelbarrow of caca, manure.
Yep.
And I was talking to a lady the other day and I said, you just put another shovel in your wheelbarrow. Now that's just more you got to push around. And she's
Yeah.
like, and I said, well, it's worse than carrying your luggage. One is heavy, they're both heavy. But every time you keep talking bad about yourself, you're putting another shovel load in there. How about let's start taking some out and putting it in your life garden? And,
Nice.
you know, because it's food for the seeds that you plant, right?
Yeah.
So let's start emptying the wheelbarrow instead of filling it up. And eventually you could just put the wheelbarrow aside and you can just walk your path like you're supposed to be doing, right? So we
Yeah.
all have that wheelbarrow. We do. So
Yeah.
you know what you need to do, who you need to talk to, what you need to do to let go of whatever that is. And then in a
Okay.
couple of days, I want you to send me another picture because I want to compare and I want to prove to you
Okay.
that those lines will be gone.
Okay.
That emotion. Here's what happens when you change your emotions and you change that thought. The DNA where that is stuck in your body, it causes a disease this in this area. So this is going right up through into your liver, causing, because anger settles there. And so this disease, if we don't let that go. I'm not saying that's what's going on
Okay.
with you. I'm just saying that this is what could be could happen. Oh, you hear my kitties?
Yeah.
They want to get in here. Um, your baby toes, one is your prosperity toe on your right side, your abundance,
Okay.
and on the left side is your trust toe. And your trust toe is so full, you trust more than you should, way more than you should. You're just over trusting. Yeah.
I'm shocked by that.
And that's okay. That's totally okay. And your abundance toe, you notice how it's turning outward?
Yes.
It's like twisted. So I would like to invite you to, if you have a flat, like a little flat stone, or do you have like little toe separators?
Yes, somewhere.
Okay. Well, when you think about it, you can either put a flat stone between there or your toe separators just to help it and like talk to that toe. Um, it's because it's looking outward for resources for financial. It's full. You have you have a nest egg. It's full, but you're
Yeah.
looking outwards instead of straight
Okay.
ahead. Okay. You're very intuitive, there's no doubt about it. And I also, and I don't know if you believe this or not, and it's okay if you don't, but there's some past lives here that I see, and I'd like to explore them with you sometime. Sit down
Def-
and, uh, you know, I'm a clinical hypnotherapist, so I would love to explore them. And I think once you know the lives that you've been in and out of, because we bring stuff with us to each
yes.
life we live. And so sometimes that can help. I know you were so worried about all the bug bites, but they serve a purpose. There is no accident as to where you were bitten, and it's right here on your life path toe. And it just shows to me that your toes are just so in love with what you do. you want to do more of this instead of being confined to the 9 to 5. Are you in a 9 to 5?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Are they
I'm,
on here? Anybody on here that's from your job?
yeah, Pamela has worked with me. I can't remember who else is on here. Stacy, who was watching earlier, she works with me. We all work for a corporation, and
Okay.
I'm sure all of us would love to be somewhere else. But I
Okay, so I would
definitely
like to
feel
know,
very fun.
did you choose the color red? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Why did you
Go
choose the
ahead,
color
Sheri.
red on your toenail polish?
Well, it always matches my nail polish. And this is just a color that I've worn for years. I toggle
Okay.
between
Let me.
different shades of burgundy and red.
Okay. On the toes, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but they do like softer hues. Your toes want softer hues, a softer color.
Okay.
And let me tell you why, because red, some people think it's a power color. And it actually is. Some people don't want to approach you because it makes them angry. Red is, it promotes anger in some people. And if you're provoking somebody just because, I mean, they may not know why they're provoked by you, but usually the color red. Now, I didn't know if you were using red because maybe you were dealing with your root chakra. Some people will wear red when they're trying to work with their root chakra. Red is fine. Tone it down, add a little more pink to it. Pink is love. So you'll be attracting more people, even orange. You'll have more friends if you use orange. You'll have more love towards you if it's more of a pinker tone. Red is going to push people away.
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
No, I'm loving this. I mean, you're spot on.
Okay. I didn't want to touch that when you were 35-ish, between 30 and 35. And I could pull this up on the computer. I really love holding people's feet. Now, what I started doing is I will hold people's feet in my lap until I can get back on the floor. So, because I love to feel the energy. And another thing I did the other day, I just drew, like looked at this girl's feet and then drew them on another piece of paper. As I was drawing, oh God, I was starting to get all these hits and all this, just by drawing them. They say that you can walk a labyrinth just by on a picture, just by doing it with your finger, different than if you walked it. So that's why I was like drawing her feet, and all these things that I would not have seen showed up just by me drawing them. I was like, whoa. So there's a lot of energy to this, a lot of mysticism. But my passion for this is when people get that breakthrough, or they're like, oh my God, I haven't thought of this before. I have a story to share. A lady at the Celebrate Your Life sat down at my chair, and the minute I touched, she was going like this. Her ear was like literally touching her shoulder. And so I greeted her and asked permission to touch her feet. And the minute I touched her feet, I had ringing in my ear and it hurt so bad. And she says, "What did you do?" And I said, "I don't know. What?" All of a sudden, I got ringing in my ear and it's hurting. She said, "I have tinnitus and it's gone. When you touched my feet, it's gone." Well, I had it then, but I knew how to protect myself,
Yeah.
sent it away because I didn't want it. And then I had another
Yeah.
story where a grandpa at the Celebrate Your Life was his daughter was at the event and he was just there babysitting the 3-month-old for her. She was nursing him. So somebody had to come with and take care of the baby while she could enjoy the event. He strolled on by. Everybody was in the event, and I was just sitting there at my little station on my pillow. And he says, "So what is this toe reading stuff?" So I told him, I said, I explained. And he said, "Can you read a baby?" And I looked at him, I said, "I never have before, but let's see if we can." I said, "How old is he?" And he said, 3 months old. So I looked at his little toes and held him. He was sound asleep. I'm holding his little tiny feet. And there was so much energy in them. But clear across all 10 toes was that knife, the line, shoo, just like that, at when he was a month and a half. And so I said to Grandpa, "What happened to him? What happened?" He, and so Grandpa, he knew exactly when I said it, a month and a half. He said my daughter dropped him. And because it was on every single toe, it affected his communication toe. He couldn't, how can he communicate except yell and scream that he was in pain? How could he now?
Yeah.
Now this relationship between him and his mother is severed. Trust her. So clear across all 10 toes, where all these the lines were just clear across all these issues. So I said, "Grandpa, help me. I want you to hold one of his feet, and I'll hold another, and then we'll hold your hand. I want to pray for this little baby to forgive, even though he doesn't. I know his soul will understand us, even though he doesn't know how to communicate right now." So we prayed for him, and by the time we opened our eyes and we were done, those little lines were gone. They were gone.
Wow.
I wish I had taken a picture of it because only him and I would ever believe that story. It was just, that's how amazing this is. It's once you're, I mean, he didn't have to know what was going on. His soul knew what was going on, his little spirit. So I have so many stories like that. I don't have a favorite. Every one of them, the next one that's coming up will be my favorite because I look forward to them. There's
Yes.
there's so many events that happen when you sit at people's feet or hold them in your lap or draw the picture out. Um, so that's what toe reading is. Mhm.
Thank you so much for sharing this. I know we have a lot of people that were very curious about this, and it's very obvious that toe reading is your passion because you just light up when you talk about it. And earlier, Amy said, let me go back to it. She says, "Love you and happy you are here with us," and with a heart.
Oh, thank you, Amy. Mhm.
And says I have to hop off, send her info. Love you ladies. So I'm sure we've got people who are interested in knowing more about what Sheri and toe readings, and if you guys want to schedule an appointment with her, get in touch with her. Absolutely. Go ahead and send her a Facebook private message. Sheri will go ahead and she'll put her contact info in the comments of this video so you guys can contact her for more info. So I hope you guys got a lot out of this video. She was dead on with what she said about my toes. There are things on my feet I did not even notice, and I will be watching the replay on this and looking at my toes even closer. So this was really
Well, there's
cool.
more, and we can talk off camera. I
Yes, yeah.
would be very happy
And
to. So.
so I'm really happy, Sheri, that you were able to find that you can continue doing what you love, even with just pictures of people's toes. I mean, that just tickles me pink because 3 years is a long time to be laid up in bed in pain and wondering what your future holds and wondering if you're ever going to be able to do what you love again. So I'm trying not to get emotional, but I'm really happy that you found that you're doing it.
I couldn't appreciate it more. I have 1,000 times more passion for it now than I even did 3 years ago because I understand the pain and suffering now. It wasn't for me. It was for the toes I have to read.
Yeah.
It wasn't about me.
So
We
you
get
have
that now.
this fantastic
Mhm.
You have a fantastic gift, and I'm really glad that you're putting it to use
Mhm.
because you never know whose life you will change with what you're doing.
That's right.
So thank you for us in this group.
Thank you
Maybe down
so
the road
much.
we can.
Yeah. I'm so in love with you. What your mission is, what you're doing for young women is just such a beautiful thing. So just keep it
Thank you
up.
for.
Mhm.
I will because I
Thank
love this
you.
group.
Can
And
I click goodbye now? Do you want me to go?
yes, yes. Enjoy, enjoy
Do
the
you
rest
like
of your Sunday. Hmm?
do you like them?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Someday we'll share that story with the world.
Someday we will. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye now. How do I get
Bye.
out?
I'll close it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. See ya.